On the Sofa with Esther. Every Sunday, a place where legends and stars hang out, sharing untold stories and unforgettable moments. So get cozy and relax into inspiring conversations that you won't hear anywhere else.
Hey, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to another On the Sofa with Esther. Well, today I welcome a wonderful talent whose voice and natural stage presence makes her a true entertainer. Jessica Stevens is a gifted singer who has spent years performing both as a solo artist and with a number of bands, captivating audiences with her soulful vocals and vibrant performances. Music runs deep in her roots. She has also enjoyed success in the UK soul chart, working alongside her father, renowned UK soul singer Kenny Stevens, co-writing and recording backing vocals on his album Out of the Blue. Jess continues to make her mark on the live music scene, and on Friday, the 20th of March, she will be opening up for USA R&B singing sensation Darnel Alexander, who is currently touring the UK and will be performing at the Stewartby Club in Bedfordshire. Welcome, Jessica, to On the Sofa with Esther.
Hello, very comfy.
Oh, fantastic. I've been looking forward to speaking to you because I've just interviewed Darnell live. And, I was thinking it would be also nice to get you on the show to introduce you to people, but also to get a vibe about how you feel about opening up for Darnell, but also to find out more about who Jessica Stevens is. And so I like to ask my guests, who is Jessica in a nutshell, in a coconut shell, or an eggshell? I'm just going to make it up.
I would definitely go with coconut shell because
Oh.
I'm quite tropical and I love coconut water. I just honestly, I don't really take life too seriously. I love to have a laugh. I love to find joy in everything that I do. And that's just me, really.
That's nice. And how does that sort of influence or inspire your music? Because you do a lot of tributes, especially to the legends of Motown. And I've listened to your very soulful voice. When you're singing, I have felt as if I'm transported back into a room watching like Mary Wilson from the Supremes. You really do go back into that space. So because of that relaxed, easygoing personality, how do you then bring that into your music? What does it do to your performances?
Well, obviously, as when you're working as a musician, you're singing a lot of the same songs week in, week out. But the fact that I can find beauty absolutely anywhere, it really makes every show, it's like the first time for me. Every time I sing a song, it doesn't matter how many times I've sang it, I still feel that same joy. And I hear music everywhere that I go. My washing machine goes off, I'm dancing to it. Like it's so deep within me that
Yeah.
I find the music wherever I am, and the people's reactions as well. That's another thing that makes it new for me. But I do have this kind of sense of childlike wonder where I'm just kind of fascinated by everything. So I think that really helps me with the music, because although I've been doing it for some 10 plus years, I feel like I've never become jaded, which is something that I did worry about. Would I get bored? Would it stop being magical? But it just never has. When I hear music, I'm activated. It,
Absolutely.
that's really helped me a lot, because it's just always new. And once people see that you're enjoying yourself, that's the most important part of what I do. Obviously I do work on my voice, and I know the singing is really important, but what really people really want to see is that you're enjoying yourself, they can relax and enjoy themselves as well. And that's what makes a great gig for me.
Brilliant. I love it when you say music activates me. And even with the washing machine, I so get that, because when I grew up in a sort of very strict Christian environment, and the first time I was allowed a radio, I used to have to clean the stairs as we used to back in the day. We had our chores, and that radio came down every step. And then because I had just discovered music, but also it was so silly that even if an advert came on TV, I'd be doing this. And
Exactly.
I used to irritate my parents. They're like, "What wrong with you? What wrong with you? You like you got Satan in you." And I don't have Satan, man. So as soon as when you mentioned about being activated, I get it. It's a soul thing, it's deep, and I can tell that you enjoy what you do. And so, Jessica, when you go out on stage, do you become somebody else, or do you become more of that childlikeness? Do you become more of um that connection of music? What does it do to you when you're performing on stage?
That's a really, really interesting question because that's something that I've been working on a lot lately. We talk about this flow state of artists. They get into this trance zone or whatever where you are performing. And I used to very much think that I did become somebody else, almost have a separate character that I was being on stage. And lately, I've really been unpacking that and thinking about what it means. And it is me. And I realize it's just the essence of me. It's me remembering that that's me. Sorry, that didn't make a lot of sense
No,
to
it
do.
does. I get you. Yeah, I get the depth. I get it. Trust me.
But it's a lot of to do with your self-image. When I used to think of I didn't have a great self-image because I've struggled with a lot of mental health and things like that throughout my life. When I didn't have a very strong self-image, when I felt that music hit, it felt like, oh, that must be something else. That must be some kind of divine intervention. And
Mm,
lately, I've begun to realize that no, it's me. It's everything that I am. It's just that everything comes together in that moment. And so I've been working on going in and really focusing on that and remembering that it's me. Because a lot of, doing the show is talking to people, interacting with people. And I used to feel like I used to struggle with that because I didn't, as a person, I'm quite not shy, but reserved. I'm quite private, quite insular. But once I started to think differently about it, it kind of affects the whole show because as soon as I walk into the room, I've got this self-image of I am this person. That singer, that great gig that I did, that wasn't a fluke. That was me. And I that's what who I am. That's in me and I can do it. So it's really changed the way I perform quite recently. So I'm really glad you asked me that. Thank you.
brilliant, brilliant. And if I may, you talked about mental health because that's such a big thing at this moment in time in terms of how it impacts and affects so many people, and looking at solutions or tools to support. Did you find music, and I know you sort of alluded to that a little bit just now, but did you find that music was also quite cathartic in those moments when you were sort of experiencing or going through?
Absolutely. And again, that's such a great question because it I'm maybe haven't gone as far with my music as people may have expected me to because I do understand it so fully and I do have that talent. And it was a case of where music was always a therapy for me. It was something that I needed to do. It was something that I did to make myself feel better. So the thought of taking that into a different space where it was something that I shared with other people has always been really difficult for me because I didn't want to let go. It was my private space when I was with the music, when I was in, be it whatever. I play flute, I play piano, I compose music. I sing. So whatever it was that space where it was a comfort blanket for me. And it was very difficult for me to take that comfort blanket off and show everybody else. So that's another thing that I've been working on a lot lately. And hopefully that will help me to start doing the things which I would really like to do, which is releasing my own music. But it was always very precious to me because it would be like showing some people something really private.
Mm.
Again, with your previous question, it's working into this new self-image that it's me. This is me. It's not, there's not separate parts where I have to hide this or I can't let people see that. It's all of me. And I have to share all of me with the world because that's the gift that I've been given, the gift of music, because I very much see music not as something that I do, but something that happens to me when I write music, I don't feel like I'm making it up. I feel like it's coming through me. I feel like it's being filtered
Absolutely.
through me. So it's just reconciling that private part in my mind and working out where I can put boundaries so that I don't feel like I'm too exposed and I can still feel comfortable.
Sometimes I want to say hallelujah to that.
But it's divine, you know. It's even
Absolutely.
things like when you're on stage and the music's going, if I have to bend down to pick up my water, like I'm doing it with the music. You know, I've changed leads and changed batteries in my microphone, and it's all just been perfect. Like it all just fits. I feel so comfortable and I feel so secure within music. And it's because I've never felt like that with interpersonal relationships and with socializing. It's That's why it's always been very precious to me, something that I've gate kept because it's the thing that protects me. I've always been the square peg in the round hole. I've never felt like I've
Mm,
fitted in. I never felt like I was like other people. I've never really had a lot of friends or anything like that. So to have music as a place where I understand it completely, you know, I feel like in life I never got the manual, but when it comes to music, it's almost like I know the manual inside out.
mm. But that's also because it's your purpose, your sole purpose. And
Exactly.
when you're in that space, you talk about this divine flow through or the divine intervention or divine connecting with, that's you don't have to be anything other than allowing that to flow through you and then it becomes you. And so I understand the depth of you wanting to hold on to that, but also understanding the sharing, but also the beauty of you coming to the place where you can say the world can have this bit, but this is still me. This part belongs to me, and that's okay. The world doesn't have to have everything of you. But what you do give, and I can sense this, what you do give is that part of you that creates magic in other people's lives. Because you're the voice piece, you're the messenger, and that's equally as powerful as what it also does to you in your own space and in your own world. Um, and I always say that music speaks to all the different emotions that we have. So I can understand how it's been so close and personal to you on so many levels because it meets you where you're at. Um, you can put on a track and something's happened, you put on a track that resonates with how you're feeling at that moment in time. Oh my God, it speaks to me. Um,
Mhm.
or it's, nostalgia or whatever it is. So I completely understand that. And then this leads on to next week and you performing. You're the opening act for Darnel Alexander. And I can't imagine what that's going to be like because I've listened to your tracks. I've listened, I've got a list of all the ones that I've listened to, and there is this beautiful nostalgic sentimentality. Is that a word? But it is now, right?
Is now.
When you perform, like I said, I feel as if I'm transported back to like the 40s, the 50s, because you have that essence, you give it that character or that person, whatever it is. And so what can we expect from Jessica Stevens up on stage next week, Friday?
Um, the the old me would have been terrified going up next to somebody like Darnell because he is so smooth. Like the guy is just, you know, we all know. The old me would have been really
Jessica,
scared,
can you,
like, oh,
can you see me? This is my fan. I'm fanning myself.
no shame, no shame. Stay comfy. But now I'm super excited because I'm mentally in a place where I'm ready to meet those challenges. And I know that as soon as we are there together, and I know that I'm going to do everything I can to match that level, you know, and I'm really excited that to have something that's going to push me to do that. So it's obviously a little bit nerve-wracking because I know there's going to be a lot of people there because
Mm.
I'm there. But yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm really, really excited to see what I can learn from him. I'm really excited to push myself. And what I really love about Darnell is he just has the utmost respect for music. You can see it shines out of him, the way he sounds, the way he talks, like he just has such a respect for it. I'm so excited to be on a stage with somebody like that, because I know that I'm going to learn so much from this experience. So I'm really excited, honestly.
Brilliant. And you said something earlier about, you want to reach there, but I feel that there's something about your vibration that it's just going to be, you're going to organically, it's just going to be this organic movement into, and then there will be no sort of levels. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I suppose
Um,
what I meant by that is that the kind of level of the shows that I currently do, I do a lot of pubs, social clubs sort of thing.
mm,
And you're not necessarily pushing yourself to be that, to
okay.
perform that well, because and it's fine, because I know what I do is the way I always see it is that, some people say, oh, nobody appreciates good music anymore, or nobody really wants good music. But, Gordon Ramsay would say, why are you eating a Burger King? It's
Mm,
okay. Everything doesn't have to be super analytical. Everybody doesn't have to be so deep into things. Music is ultimately it's for people's enjoyment. It's for people to take whatever, whether they take emotion from it, whether they make it really deep, or whether it's just surface and it gives them a really good weekend. So I'm happy to be a part of any of it, because it's all music to me, and it's all, as you
absolutely.
said, about changing, giving meaning for other people. So my shows are quite, I'm focusing more on the banter that I'm having. I'm focusing more on playing the songs that maybe a few cheesy ones that people just really love to hear. But the gig with Darnell is going to be on
Yes.
a different playing field. And I fully feel that I can meet the challenge. And I say that just because I want it so much. As I say, I see Darnell, I love the respect that he has for the art. And I want to take myself to new heights. I want to put myself
Mm,
in new places. So yeah. I
ex-
hope I'm not a flop after I've said all this. Oh,
you
I'm so
won't,
excited. It's going to be great. And then
oh,
they're like,
you
oh,
won't,
get
you
her off.
won't.
Where's Darnell?
I'll help carry you off if you want some help, okay? As long as you wash your feet beforehand, I'm good to help carry you off.
Well, yeah, okay. I do get quite excitable on stage. You people don't really see it from my videos, because I'm kind of standing there and I'm singing, and it's all very lovely. When you see me at a show, when I'm singing Proud Mary, I'm all over the place. And as I'm doing it, I'm thinking my back's going to regret this in the morning. But when I'm just so excited, I really throw myself into it. So I think even people that know kind of what I do are going to be surprised by because the energy in the room is going to be on fire. The energy that I'm going to be feeling, because having Darnell there is going to be fire. Even down to the fact, performing in front of my dad is another thing again, because Kenny, he's got to be like, you can't mess around. And I know, and he's my biggest critic. They say you're your own biggest critic. No, he's mine. So that energy is just going to take me to new heights. And I'm just really excited. I know I keep saying it, but I just really am.
Yeah, yeah. And winding down, I mean, I know you've just mentioned your dad, Kenny. My hair's doing its own thing today, or whatever.
It looks good.
But you mentioned your dad, Kenny. What was it like? I know used to perform with your dad, as they say back in the day. What was that like performing with Kenny?
It's definitely very much changed over the years, because I just find as you get older, you tend to see your parents differently. When you're young, parents are parents, they're these
Mm,
authority figures. And as I've got older, I see him not as an equal, it's not the correct word, but just I see him more as a person than as a father. So the experience is very, very different. And again, where I was saying that, the old me would have been worried about his criticisms. Now I'm excited. I'm excited to learn from him, and I'm excited to hear his criticisms, and I'm excited to show him what I've learned. So from, performing with my dad as a younger and to it now, it's a very different experience.
brilliant. And it must be really nice to just know your dad's in the audience watching his baby girl. I don't know what he calls you, perform at this level. So I just want to just say thank you, Jessica, for your time. Thank you for sharing. I love your enthusiasm, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and Darnell next week, Friday. They're going to be next week, Friday, the 20th of March at the Stewartby Club, Bedfordshire. And yeah, just keep rising, girl. Just keep rising. And like you said, because you're already connected, you're going to be guided anyway. You just have to just keep showing up for yourself. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's such a lovely thing to say. Thank you.
And I look forward to meeting you as well. I'll be there with my little flag.
Make sure you cheer as loudly for me as you do for him, all right?
Of course, I'll be front. I'll be at the front. And if you need taking out, remember to make sure you clean your feet. All right.
I will do.
Jessica Stevens, bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications on future videos. Thank you for watching.